Yeah, from KCSE Mathematics Paper 2, that is taken 2008, we consider question 6, which reads, question 6 reads, a student at a certain college has a 60% chance of passing an examination at the first attempt. Each time a student fails and repeats the examination, his chances of passing are increased by 15%. Now, calculate the probability that a student in the college passes an examination at the second or at the third attempt. That is 3 marks. Let's see what our solution should look like. Well, the question, as we have seen, a student at a certain college has a 60% chance of passing an examination at the first attempt. Each time a student fails and repeats the examination, his chances of passing are increased by 15%. Calculate the probability that a student in the college passes an examination at the second or at the third attempt. So this we'll do this using a tree diagram. So a tree diagram, we draw our tree diagram. So, okay, we have there is passing or failing. First attempt, this does not make sense because after passing you need not to get up there, so that has no meaning. I will concern myself with this because we are asked calculate the probability that a student in the college passes an examination at the second or at the third. So that means having come here first, we must start with the fail. So a fail makes more sense. So if a student failed first attempt, then can pass or can fail in the second attempt. But in which case, if passes, stops here. But it is possible that the student failed first attempt and has failed the second attempt, so it's going for the third attempt. That third attempt then becomes, he'll either pass or fail. Now, these are the possibilities represented by our tree diagram. So let's slot in the probabilities. We are told that a student at a certain college has a 60% chance of passing. So here we have 0.6. And because this plus this should be 1, here is 0.4. But we are told that each time a student fails and repeats the examination, his chances of passing are increased by 15%. So if this student failed, then the chance of passing here now becomes 0.15 plus 0.6 because it's increased by that. So 0.6, that was the initial chance of passing. But now that he failed and is repeating that particular unit, the chance of passing now increases to 0.75, which is given by 0.6 plus 0.15, the increase. And that implies that here I have 0.25. So the chance that the student failed first attempt and failing again second attempt is this. And for us to get the chance of failing again, we first need to define passing, in which case passing will still again increase by 0.15. It's increasing again. So the chance is now 0.90. And here is now 0.1. That is now 0.1. So this is how the tree diagram looks. Now let's use it to solve our question. Calculate the probability that a student in the college passes an examination at the second or first attempt. So what is the probability of passing on the second attempt? Probability of passing on the second attempt, let me say probability that x is 2, I want to call it that, will now be, he can only pass on the second attempt if failed in the first attempt, but now has passed. So it will be 0.4 times 0.75, which is 0.4 times 0.75. What does that give us? If you work it out, you should try, it is 0.3, 0.30. So this is the probability of passing on the second attempt. Then what is the probability of passing on the third attempt? Third attempt. Probability of passing on the third attempt means that failed first attempt, failed second attempt, but passed third attempt. So we have 0.4 times 0.25 times 0.9. If you work that out, that is 0.4 times 0.25 times 0.9. If you work it out, it should give you 0.09. Now that 0.09 is the probability that this student passes on the third attempt. You see how minimal now it is. It looks like this probability, as much as we are saying it is increasing by this, but actually by calculation, by the multiplicative habits of the branches, we see that it's getting there. Okay, the more it moves, the more the branch goes, it will continue going down. So what then? The question required us to get probability of passing, the probability that a student in the college passes an examination at the second or at the third attempt. So we add. So it will be probability that passed second attempt plus or and plus are synonymous. Probability that x is equal to 3. So this will give me 0.30 plus 0.09, which is 0.39. That's the probability of interest that we wanted. So up to there, see you in my next video.